White woman calls cop on black teen speechless when his mom arrives, and she's the FBI chief. At an upscale jewelry store in Riverton, a black teenager, Jalen Carter, eagerly steps inside to find the perfect birthday gift for his little sister, Aliyah. The moment he walks into the store, however, the warm excitement he felt is replaced by suspicion from the store clerk. When he accidentally drops a bracelet, the suspicion quickly morphs into baseless accusations. Within minutes, the police arrive, blindly trusting the clerk's claims, and they handcuff him. But what they don't realize is that Jalen has a powerful ally, his mother, who's about to turn the situation around in a way no one expected. It's a warm Saturday afternoon in Riverton, a peaceful suburban town, where life moves at a leisurely pace. Families stroll through parks, children race towards swings, and neighbors exchange pleasant greetings. The sun casts a golden glow over everything, making the town seem almost like a perfect postcard. But for Jalen, this day is about more than enjoying the weekend. He has one mission: to buy the perfect birthday gift for his younger sister, Aliyah. Jalen has been saving up for months, working extra hours at the local coffee shop, carefully setting aside every tip and paycheck to afford something truly special. Finally, he found it the perfect gift: a silver charm bracelet from Belmont Jewelers, the town's most prestigious jewelry store. He had walked past the store countless times, pressing his nose to the glass, imagining how Aliyah's eyes would light up when she saw it. Today was the day. Jalen walks toward the store, his wallet in hand, the money inside a reminder of his hard work and love for his sister. He adjusted his hoodie, feeling the familiar unease that comes with walking into certain places as a young black man. His heart beats faster, but he shakes off the discomfort. Today, he just wants to walk in, buy the bracelet, and leave without any hassle. He enters the store, and a soft chime rings through the air. Belmont Jewelers is exactly as he imagined: sleek glass display cases, velvet-lined shelves, and rows of shiny gold and silver under bright, almost blinding lights. The faint scent of expensive cologne and polished wood fills the air. Most of the customers inside are well-dressed older women, admiring diamond rings and expensive necklaces that cost more than Jalen could dream of. Jalen ignores their curious stares and focuses on the bracelet he came for. Behind the counter, the store clerk, Margaret Whitmore, a middle-aged white woman with carefully styled blonde hair, watches him intently. Her expression is neutral at first, but as soon as her eyes meet Jalen's, something shifts. Jalen feels it immediately: an unmistakable scrutiny, the kind he has experienced countless times before. The silent, heavy question: what is a young black man like him doing in a store like this? But he ignores it, stepping forward to the counter with a polite smile, asking to see the bracelet. Margaret doesn't respond immediately. Instead, she crosses her arms and narrows her eyes. "Are you sure?" she asks with a tone that drips with condescension. "That one's quite expensive." Jalen, though taken aback by the question, remains calm. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out his hard-earned money, showing it to her. "I'm sure. I've saved up for this." Margaret's eyes flicker to the money, a small, almost disdainful smile creeping onto her lips. "Where exactly did you get all that money?" she asks, her voice casual, but the accusation beneath it sharp. Jalen's stomach tightens, but he refuses to let his discomfort show. "I work at Parker's Coffee House. I saved up for this," he responds, his voice firm. Margaret laughs lightly, almost mockingly. "You expect me to believe that?" Jalen feels the anger rising, but he forces himself to stay calm. "Yes," he says, his voice low. Margaret's smile widens as she takes a step toward the display case. "I've been working here a long time. I know when something doesn't add up." Jalen's hands curl into fists at his sides. Can't she just let him buy the bracelet? Can't she just trust him? "Can I just see the bracelet, please?" he asks, his patience thinning. Margaret finally pulls the bracelet out and places it on the counter, her tone still dismissive. "Be careful with it. It's worth more than what you probably make in a year." Jalen picks up the bracelet carefully, feeling the cool silver against his fingertips. It's perfect, exactly as he imagined. But as he admires it, the smooth metal slips from his hand, falling to the glass counter with a soft clink, before bouncing onto the floor below. The moment it hits the floor, Margaret lets out a sharp, piercing scream. "Oh my God! I knew it!" she shouts, her voice full of outrage. Jalen's eyes widen in confusion. "Wait!" Before he can even move to pick it up, Margaret's finger jabs in his direction, accusing him of trying to steal the bracelet. "I knew you were up to something," she snaps. "You were trying to pocket it, weren't you?" Jalen is stunned, his stomach sinking as Margaret reaches for the store phone, frantically dialing the police. "Get the police here now," she demands, her voice harsh. "We've got a thief young black male in a hoodie trying to steal from us." Jalen stands frozen, the words hitting him like a ton of bricks. The store is silent now, but the air is thick with judgment, suspicion, and fear. He feels every set of eyes on him, every shift in posture. He knows he's not believed. Not over her. The sound of sirens grows louder, cutting through the stillness. Jalen's pulse races as he stands still, forcing himself to breathe. He knows what's happening. He knows how these situations go. He's seen it on the news. He's heard the stories. But this is happening to him. He swallows hard, his hands shaking. Margaret continues talking into the phone, her words dripping with false urgency. "He's getting aggressive," she says, her voice laced with a smirk as she looks at Jalen. Aggressive? Jalen hasn't moved. He hasn't even spoken. But in Margaret's eyes, he's already guilty. The door to the store swings open, and two uniformed officers enter. The energy in the room shifts immediately. All attention turns to Jalen, and Margaret points at him. "That's him," she exclaims, her voice triumphant. "He tried to steal from me." One of the officers, Sergeant Blake, steps forward, his hand already reaching for his handcuffs. "Sir, I need you to put your hands where I can see them," he commands. Jalen's breath catches, but he doesn't move. He stands still, every muscle in his body screaming to do something, anything, to protect himself. But he knows better. He can't make a wrong move. Jalen opens his mouth to defend himself, but before he can say a word, he is interrupted by Margaret's snide comment. "Are you seriously going to stand there and argue?" She scoffs. "I caught you red-handed. You thought you could get away with it." Jalen feels the rage building inside him, but he swallows it down. He looks at the bracelet on the floor, realizing it's the very object that's now being used to paint him as a criminal. The second officer, Doyle, hesitates. His eyes flick between Jalen and Margaret, and for a split second, Jalen sees a flicker of doubt in his expression. But it doesn't matter. Sergeant Blake has already made up his mind. Jalen stands there, his body rigid, waiting for the inevitable. He doesn't ask for help. He doesn't beg for mercy. He just asks one thing. "Call my mother," he says firmly. Sergeant Blake scoffs, dismissing him. "You can make your phone call at the station." "No," Jalen insists. "Call my mother. Now." Margaret rolls her eyes, mocking him. "Oh, sure, call mommy," she sneers. "What's she going to do, tell you to scream for justice?" Jalen, undeterred, reaches into his pocket and pulls out his phone. He dials with steady hands. "Mom, I need you at Belmont Jewelers. Now." Blake's expression falters for a moment, but he's still unfazed. Doyle, however, is more cautious. He seems to notice the resolve in Jalen's voice and begins to reconsider. Minutes stretch into what feels like hours. The air in the store is thick with tension. The customers watch, some whispering, others pulling out their phones, but none of them intervene. Finally, the door opens again. A tall woman walks in. She carries herself with a commanding presence that silences the room. Her heels click sharply against the tile, and she flashes a badge that leaves no room for doubt. "I'm Dr. Simone Carter," she says, her voice cutting through the room with authority. "Chief of Police for Riverton PD." She turns to Blake. "And this," she says, gesturing to Jalen, "is my son." The room goes dead silent. Jalen watches as recognition dawns on the officers. Blake stiffens, his grip on the handcuffs faltering. Doyle looks between Jalen and Simone, his posture shifting in uncertainty. But it's Margaret who reacts the most strongly, her smug expression fading, replaced by shock and desperation. "What?" she stammers. "What did you say?" Simone doesn't even glance at her. She's focused on Blake, her tone unyielding. "Sergeant, I assume you have a reasonable explanation for why my son is standing here, surrounded by officers." while you reach for your handcuffs without even asking him a single question? Blake hesitates, unable to answer. Margaret's voice rises in protest, but Simone cuts her off. "Did you check the security footage?" Simone asks Blake, her voice sharp. Blake hesitates before reluctantly admitting, "We were just about to." "No," Simone says, her voice dangerously smooth. "You weren't. You were about to arrest him without checking any evidence." The security footage is retrieved. The video shows Jalen entering the store, asking to see the bracelet, and, yes, dropping it accidentally. But there's no theft, no criminal activity, just a teenager trying to buy a gift for his sister. Blake shifts uncomfortably as the footage plays. Margaret looks stunned, her confidence crumbling. Simone turns to Blake. "Do you still want to arrest my son?" Blake stays silent. Margaret, now visibly shaken, tries to defend herself but has nothing to say. She's lost all power in this situation. Simone, calm but resolute, turns to Jalen. "Let's go, baby," she murmurs. As they walk out of the store, Jalen, exhausted and overwhelmed, finally breathes out. The battle isn't over, but for now, it feels like a victory. But as they leave, Jalen can't shake the feeling that no matter how many victories they have, the battle against prejudice and injustice is never truly won. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the story and found it meaningful. Remember, every story has the power to make a difference, to challenge perceptions, and to inspire change. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives and impactful lessons. Join us as we continue to explore important issues and share stories that matter. Until next time, stay empowered, stay inspired, and keep fighting for justice. See you in the next video.